Hello and welcome to my library. Oh, the hat, it says nice. And then depending on the mood that I'm in, it also can say naughty. But I'm feeling nice today, so. In today's video, we're going to read Charles Dickens's A Christmas Carol. I'm just kidding, we're not going to do that. We're going to talk about productivity. Even in the best of circumstances, it's not always easy to stay focused and productive. I know the right things to do to get myself going again, but some productivity methods have become so familiar or feel so overdone, they've lost their effectiveness. If you're like me and conventional methods aren't doing the trick, I've assembled a list of 5 unconventional productivity hacks that have been helping me lately and may also help you get up and running again. Number 1, rewrite your to-do list. This one works whether you've already written your list or not. Grab your list or think of the tasks you're trying to accomplish for the day and get a blank sheet of paper. Before you start listing your tasks, list things you've already completed. It can be something as big as doing an hour-long workout or something as small as putting on pants. After listing the things you've completed, go ahead and list your other tasks for the rest of the day. Now go back and cross out or check off the things you've already gotten done. Look at how productive you've already been. Way to go, you. Now on to the next task. This seems silly, but when we see a tangible representation of what we've already accomplished, it boosts our confidence. It's proof that we can get things done, which helps us believe we can do the next thing. Number 2, set a timer for 5 minutes. A feature of human nature that's almost universal is the drive to complete something we've already started. We experience the most resistance we'll ever feel before we actually begin a task, but once we've started, continuing becomes easier and easier. The trick with this method is to convince ourselves that we only have to do something for 5 minutes. Need to write a blog? Just write for 5 minutes. Need to fold the laundry? How many clothes can you fold in 5 minutes? Do you have to work on your budget? Do as much as you can in 5 minutes. For this to really work, you have to promise yourself that once the timer goes off, you're allowed to walk away from the task. Often you'll find that once you get started, the momentum of actually doing something will carry you and you'll choose to continue doing it. Number 3, make a micro to-do list. If you're stuck on a task and you can't seem to get started, try making a micro to-do list for that task. A micro to-do list breaks a task down even farther into smaller, sometimes ridiculously small steps. For example, maybe your task is write an email newsletter. You could go as micro as open your writing app, put your fingers on the home row, write the greeting. This method takes advantage of the same human tendency as the last one. Motion creates momentum. Just make the first domino fall and the rest will follow. Number 4, do a power hour with a friend. Sometimes trying to motivate ourselves just doesn't work and we need to get some outside help. Get in touch with a friend and see if you can schedule a Zoom or FaceTime call for an hour. And at the beginning of the call, share your goal for what you're going to try to accomplish before the end of the meeting. It can feel encouraging to have a friend to work with, and the accountability provides a bit of extra motivation. And number 5, promise yourself a reward. When I was a kid, my mom had a genius method for getting my brother and I to do extra chores around the house. She'd write little rewards down on pieces of paper, put them in a bag, and let us reach in and choose one every time we completed a task. You don't necessarily have to do a mystery grab bag, but you can spice up your to-do list by writing down some kind of reward you'll earn after each task. Maybe it's 15 minutes of playing your favorite video game or watching a YouTube video or some kind of snack or treat. This puts your mind in a more open and relaxed state because it shifts your focus away from what happens if you don't complete a task to what you'll get if you do. So these are some of my favorite methods that are working for me right now, but I love hearing new ideas from others. So if you've got some unconventional productivity hacks that I didn't list, let me know about them in the comments. And just remember that you are awesome, whether you cross 2 things off your list today or 20. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. We actually read this as a family every year, and I have to read it in my most awful British accent, so I'm sorry.
Marley was dead to begin with. There is no doubt whatever about that. The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the chief mourner. Scrooge signed it, and Scrooge's name was good upon change for anything he chose to put his hand to. Old Marley was dead as a doornail.